Hello, this is Erika Martinez, your nutritionist, and we're back with the tip of the day. The topic of this week is cutting your sugar intake. Let's begin with the basic. What is the safe amount of sugar I could consume in a day? Well, there's not a simple answer, but according to the American Heart Association, for men is 37 grams in a day and for women is 25 grams in a day. It is important to know that there's no need to add sugars to your diet. If you're overweight, obese, or diabetic, then you should probably avoid sugar as much as possible. You should not be consuming sugar every day. It's more like once a week or once every 2 weeks. So start reading your labels. Today, I will tell you the difference between added sugars and natural sugar. It is very important to make the distinction between added sugar and sugars that occur naturally in foods like fruits and vegetables. These are healthy foods that contain water, fiber, and various micronutrients or vitamins. The naturally occurring sugars are absolutely fine. However, added sugars are those that are manufactured and added to the foods. The most common added sugars are regular table sugar or high fructose corn syrup. If you want to lose weight and optimize your health, then you should probably do your best to avoid those foods that contain added sugars and as well start reading your labels. Keep in mind that sugar can be an addiction. Sugary junk foods stimulate the same areas of the brain as drugs of use. For this reason, sugar can cause people to lose control over their consumption. If you have a story of binge eating, failure at setting rules about your consumption like cheat meals or cheat days, and repeated failures with everything in moderation approach, then perhaps you are addicted. The same way that a smoker needs to avoid cigarettes completely, a sugar addict needs to avoid sugar completely. In order to minimize sugar intake, avoid the following foods, and these are in order of importance. To begin, eliminate soft drinks. Sugar-sweet beverages are awful, and you should avoid this like the plague. Fruit juices. This is the most surprising one, but fruit juices actually contain the same amount of sugar as soft drinks. Candies and sweets. You should drastically limit your consumption of sweets. Baked goods like cookies or cakes, they tend to be very high in sugar and refined carbohydrates. Fruits, canned, and syrup. Choose fresh fruit instead. Low fat or diet foods. Foods that have the fat removed from they're often removed and they add high amounts of sugar. Dry fruits, I will recommend to avoid as much as possible, and as well try to drink as much water as you can instead of soda and juices, and don't add any sugar to your coffee or tea. And instead of sugar in recipes, you can try cinnamon, nutmeg, almond extract, vanilla, ginger, or lemon. The best way to cut back on sugar is to simply avoid processed and satisfy your sweet tooth with fruits instead. This approach doesn't require any math, calorie counting, or obsessively reading your labels at all times. There are many different types for sugar, so be careful when you're checking your labels. For example, some names could be sugar sucrose, high fructose corn syrup, dehydrated cane juice, fructose, glucose, dextrose, syrup, cane sugar, raw sugar. So just be careful with all of those. If a packaged food contains sugar in the first 3 ingredients, avoid it. If a packaged food contains more than one type of sugar, avoid it as well. Beware that other sugars often labeled healthy, like agave, honey, organic cane sugar, and coconut sugar, fall into the same category. You must read your nutrition labels. Even foods disguised as healthy foods can be loaded with tons of sugar. That will be all for today, and I will see you next week at the tip of the day.